Welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who has never once said good journey to me. It's Lan Pitts.
But I have.
No, you haven't.
I said good journey to you at Dragon Con.
No, you...
I'm most certain. Oh, we're going to get into a fight, Mark.
I probably wasn't. You know what? Well, I wasn't listening.
Probably not. Probably not.
I just dropped by your table at Dragon Con just to give you some snark. And ignore what you're saying, and then
pretty
leave.
Much. No, I definitely gave you a good journey, maybe a Gwildor too. So.
Yeah, I went by your booth one day because Lan here, he's a comic writer for Boom Studios. You write WWE.
Yeah.
Dude's crushing it. So look him up. I'd say every 1 in 4 is good. So just kind of
that's fine.
25%, play the odds, buy him anyway, wait for the sales like on Comixology, and then pick them up.
I mean, I don't see any residual money regardless, but yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I guess quick plug because our last trade actually comes out next week.
Nice.
So it's over.
What's the name of it?
WWE Then Now Forever Volume 4. Look for the Ric Flair cover.
Woo! Yeah, at the table though, we started talking about Masters of the Universe, and you and I actually met 9 years ago on The Odd Life of Timothy Green?
Oh my God, it has been 9 years. Yeah, that would make sense.
Now, were we were we factory workers together, or were we?
No, Zoo.
Oh yeah,
Zoo. You were a Mark was a. We were both extras on the Three Stooges.
Oh yeah.
You were a zoo guide, and I was a zoo goer. So.
We're in the background of that, and we're in the background of Odd Life too, right?
No, because by then, no, not Odd Life. By then, you had kind of moved up in the world for.
Oh yeah, I actually started working on them.
Yeah, you started working. Yeah, you started working, and then I did Catching Fire 1 and 2 for like 8 months.
Oh, so. I saw you on that too.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. That's been a long time.
That's been a minute. That was a long-ass time. I'm
really happy I didn't do my introduction. I was going to say, the star of The Odd Life of Timothy Green. That would have been awkward.
No, that was not me.
No, you and I were sitting there, and I remember Common came into the room to say hi. He was being really cool. Then the weird extras got a hold of him, and he ran away. I thought that was you with me during that.
I mean, unless they were filming like multiple things at once.
You know, that zookeeper role was pretty sweet.
It was... Well, your slow motion point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great point. So if you're watching that, doesn't an acorn get shot out of a rhino's butt and goes into something else?
No, it's a peanut. It's an elephant butt, I think. But yeah, it's oh God, what is it called? Speed cam, because it speeds by and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah. Trick photography. It's magic. Magic of movies.
I'm getting everything mixed around. I thought something shot something out of its butt, then went into someoe's food, then they got an allergy.
It gets shot into his butt.
You know, I hate when I get mixed up these two things, you know? Like, it's confusing.
Shot in butt, shot out butt, whatever.
Now, I have to ask you a question about Masters of the Universe. How expensive do you think collars of Algebra are? And why do they just leave them on humans' necks? And is there only one of them?
No, I think so... What's interesting now is the fact that I love this movie to death, and I actually did Skeletor's ending monologue for mock auditions when I was going to college, because, I'm a theater major.
Because evil is lonely as good.
Tell me, He-Man, is the loneliness of good more than the loneliness of evil?
Oh, so I just gotta say, you gotta hear me. I'm steamrolling you here, but I gotta do it, because you're gonna love it. Imagine if Dolph or He-Man just goes, no.
So... All right, I don't know what research you did for this because I don't want to talk over you because there's so much research into this movie that's incredible. And the fact that I'm now friends, I don't want to say best friends, but I am peers and friends with William Stout, the costume designer and production designer of this movie, is my favorite thing in the world.
I mean, he also worked on Pan's Labyrinth and Return of the Living Dead and The Mist.
Yeah, he worked on a lot of things. But him and Mobius, designed these costumes. Known, famous comic artist worked on these costumes. Ralph McQuarrie did some designs. God, what was his name? Giuseppe. There was an Italian designer Goddard had for, a little while, too, until he decided on Stout.
I love the interviews. The interviews with Stout are great for this movie. Go out and find them. They're really solid interviews.
They're fantastic. Oh, yeah, they're absolutely fantastic. But, yeah, he he had some funny stories because I interviewed him earlier this year, figures based on Langella and Lundgren. So it's a wave of 4. It's Lundgren, God Skeletor, regular Skeletor, and then a repaint of Karg. Karg was already a figure in the Classics line, like from a few years ago, and this is just like a more movie accurate repaint.
I read that interview.
Oh, yeah. On Newsarama?
Yeah, it was all right.
I know. They let me, like, hey, who wants to interview? And I shut up and was like, oh, man, we are going to do some deep dives. And we did. And it was pretty great because awesome. I learned – my favorite thing I learned, besides the fact that the production got shut down like 7 times, is during the final scene between He-Man and Skeletor, that's the guy who plays Blade, Tony, in the mask. Yeah. And he's taller than Langella, so the helmet like barely fit his face, and he could barely see and walk in the dark. Yeah, it's good shit.
I don't know how anybody could see in these movies. These shock troopers, whatever their names are, they're
right.
They have half a centimeter of open visor space.
Yeah.
They have no idea what's going on in those things. They are horrified at all times. Hanging out with Skeletor, can't see anything, and you have to protect him.
Can't see anything. Did you read up on the Pig Boy?
Did not read up on the Pig Boy. The Pig Boy?
Okay, so the Pig Boy costume.
Oh, Beastman?
No, Pig Boy. So he's just called Pig Boy. So Mattel had this contest that you could win a walk-on role for the live-action Masters of the Universe movie. So this kid won, but they shot all the Earth scenes already. So they put this kid in a pig costume. He's the little pig guy that hands Skeletor his staffs when he walks in.
Oh, I did see that. I think I saw his face. Wow.
That's the kid. That's that kid.
That's neat.
But he couldn't prove it to his friends that he was in this movie. And he was, from what Frank Langella always mentioned, how this kid was so disappointed he couldn't see himself.
I get that. I was a dead peacekeeper in one of the Hunger Games movies while I was working as a PA. And I couldn't, hey, there's me. You're like, yeah, right, Mark.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can see me. Was that during the, Rebel invasion?
When they dropped down, when they rappelled all the way down and all the smoke and those people were laying knocked out, I'm just laying there dead.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, because we were there when they had the tank.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I caught myself twice. I couldn't remember. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
So,
but no one believes me, so I get Pig Boy. I had to throw more of myself into this in your conversation.
Oh, right. That's fine.
Now,
that's
okay. You avoided my question about the collar of Algerba. All right, so they call it the collar of Algerba. I'm not letting this go. So is it the only collar of Algerba?
No, I don't think so. What is the line? Because Duncan says it's either a collar or the collar.
I've heard it's the collar of Algerba, but I could be wrong. But they just left it on the dude's neck. That's got to be expensive. They hauled it all the way there. Like these things. I mean, they don't grow on trees. I mean, I've never been to Algerba.
Right. But I mean, Skeletor brought his weaponsmiths and everything to make, awful weapons. They have Blade. Blade probably, since Trapjaw wasn't in the movie and Trapjaw was usually Skeletor's weaponsmith. Yeah, who knows? Maybe. Evil Lynn just popped it out of her back anyway, so she might have several back there. We can't see what's behind her cape. So she could have 8 of them just cuffed to her belt.
It really hurt me how they just wasted it. And I got to tell you a little story about me growing up. Okay. In high school, everyone called me Marked Won't Park by Shrubs Hoffmeyer because I was always worried that, I had a convertible. I was always worried that my bucket of chicken or my lunch would be stolen via a grappling hook. They would be like, hey, Mark, why don't you park by that shrub? Ha ha. And I'm like, yeah, well, when my fried chicken's stolen, I won't be,
I hear especially Robbie's Ribs. Robbie's Ribs is really good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, what a great thing for a last date. But yeah, so I refused to park by Shrubs for years because I was always worried about little grubby.
Billy Barty hopping out. Yeah.
Little grubby things, eating them and then going, wait, these are made of animals? And then I have no more food.
That's where we learned that live action Eternians are vegetarian or at least have a plant-based diet. But obviously, if you've seen the Christmas special or Orko's birthday, that's not the case at all. So
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren. How would he have done in the WWE during this time?
Not great for a few reasons. He didn't speak English.
Yeah.
And that's obvious. If you've ever seen this movie, he has, I think, 16 lines of dialect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because they had like 60 or something to like dub him. And then they just forgot.
Yeah, they ran out of money, right?
No, they just forgot.
Oh, got it.
Like they had planned on dubbing him, much like how Schwarzenegger's dubbed in his first movie, Hercules in New York, because he didn't speak English. So it was the same deal with Lundgren, which is weird if you consider Lundgren's like a genius.
Yep.
And that's my favorite thing about Dolph is the fact that he graduated from like the Royal Naval Academy of Amsterdam, and like he's a scientist. He has like 2 degrees in bioengineering.
Super smart.
Yeah, right. He's super smart. He was the bodyguard for Grace Jones. That's how they hooked up. What a life.
I met Dolph, and he didn't like he wasn't like So I walked by him in Austin. I've told this story before, but whatever. I got to tell you. And I was on the phone. I was on the phone with Megan. She's like, "Mark, turn around and go say hi to him." So I went to go say hi. I kind of fumbled around. He like spilled his coffee a little bit, and I walked up. I'm like, "Hey, I'm a big fan." He's like, "Hey, man, no photos." And I'm like, "No worries." I was like, "I just want to say I'm a big fan of the latest Universal movies. Your movie Command Performance that you directed, I really dug. I'm looking forward to this movie that you're doing, like a directed, DVD movie." I think he had sunglasses. He like takes them off. He goes, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Hey, Mark." He's like, "I'm Dolph." And he shook my hand, and then we just chatted for a little bit. And so at first he probably thought like, "Hey, this is like another Rocky 2 idiot." But then I mentioned his other movies that he directed. And he's like, "I like this guy." So he and I have bonded.
Yeah, but first of all, F you because it's Rocky 4.
Oh yeah, you're right. No,
Rocky 2 is 3. Rocky 2 is a rematch.
That's Apollo. Yeah.
Yep. Rocky 3 is Clubber Lang, Mr. T, and Hulk Hogan as Thunderlips. Rocky 4 is Ivan Drago.
Can you do me a favor? Can you write a comic called 37 again? And it's about Dolph and I switching places.
I can try.
And then it's just basically, Dolph and me, we switch, and then we can make a fun movie out of it. Turns out I take over as a cop, as he's a cop. I become a cop on his character, and then he joins me. So I'm Dolph's running around acting like me, and then I'm running around acting like Dolph, but a younger version, and we have to take down a drug czar.
Oh, I like this. Oh yeah, I like this. Kickstart it.
Yeah, and so he's kind of happy. He's like, "Man, I got a good life. I'm not this cop who's always tired and drinking coffee. I can live." And then he wants to stay near. But then I get in trouble because this drug czar who thinks that I'm Dolph wants to kill me because he just got out of prison. So that forces me to go out and save Dolph. But his name is Ken Garrett in the movie, though.
Yeah, of course. It's like the Schwarzenegger syndrome, like Kindergarten Cop. Like, what is your name? John Kimball. I'm sure it is, buddy. I am sure your name is John Kimball. Where are you from? Tacoma? Where are you from? Tacoma. Oh, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure.
The only action star I ever pulled that off was Chance Boudreaux, JCVD. Chance Boudreaux. Like, my mama took a chance. Yeah. And then Luke Devereaux.
Also, like, Guile, because Guile is Cajun. He's from Louisiana. So, like, I get it, but at the same time, not really.
So have you ever had fried chicken stolen from an interdimensional creature?
Not today. Not today.
It's a good day then.
It's a good day then. Yeah, I believe so. I absolutely believe so.
All right. So another thing that I like about this movie is I like how Goddard really stressed. Well, actually, he wanted Dolph not to be the main character in this. He wanted Langella to be the main character. So he
succeeded.
Yeah, he did not want Dolph in here.
When everyone's like, I like when everyone's like, "Oh, the Dolph Lundgren movie." I was like, "No, you mean the Frank Langella vehicle that Dolph kind of just sits in?" Yeah, that movie exactly.
I thought Dolph was not bad in this, though. He showed charisma with what he had. He was good.
Right, he's not bad. I mean, especially at the end, "I'll never kneel to you." No. And like it's him and Langella. Langella, I mean, we're going to talk about Langella for like hours at this point. But no, he wasn't bad. It was just the fact that that's who his foil was, and he was overshadowed. That was the problem. It wasn't the fact he was bad. He was, I believe Evil Lynn actually has this line, outnumbered, outclassed is more like it. So, and that's the thing. Like Skeletor quoting Shakespeare, Langella improvised